Coach Tyvis is going to make a appearance here. Coach Tyvis today brought to us by Mazda, moving the game forward. For those who believe it's not just about playing the game, it's about redefining it, because these moments do more than win. They push what's possible. They remind us to go that extra yard, shift into that extra gear, and keep moving the game forward. When you follow what moves you, the unexpected is only the beginning. And just like there's more to every highlight, there's more to every Mazda. Mazda, move and be moved. And as always, remember to subscribe to the Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show. Hit the like button. Help us get the Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show spread out to as many viewers as humanly possible. When you hit the like button, when you hit the subscribe button, it helps on the algorithm of YouTube. Make sure UCSS gets to everyone out there. So we appreciate everyone who tunes in on a daily basis. Make sure you guys continue to tune in. And Anthony looks at me like he has something wrong with the iPad. So, Tyvis, set up the play we're about to talk about, and I'll get you the iPad in 1 sec.
So this play is the last touchdown of the game, where Miles Harden is coming in motion. There's some communication there, and next thing we know, guy runs a corner route. Lamar hits him for a touchdown. It's like a 40-yard bomb or something like that. That's the play that we're going to break down as we go over this clip.
Oh, Ross, that's the one Ross Tucker was talking about.
It was.
Okay.
It was. And before anyone says UCSS get better equipment, Tyvis turned the stylus off. That's why it wasn't working.
Get out of here.
Swear to God, that's what happened.
What are you talking about?
They
Coach
always
Tyvis
want to put this on me.
We didn't do Coach Davis last week.
No, we're doing it right now.
Oh, yeah.
But he said
They can
it's
see
not
this?
working. You can't draw.
Oh.
It's because Tyvis accidentally turned the stylus off. So, Tyvis, you mentioned it's the play Ross Tucker talked about on the broadcast. Basically, as he explained, the Ravens came in motion. The Browns tried to pass off the coverage, and it gave a wide-open outside break with inside leverage from the cornerback for an easy Tyron Wallace touchdown. Tyvis has the pictures to show us how it all unfolded and how it can be corrected for next week. Tyvis?
They can see this? All right. So
Yeah, look at the screen. What you see on your screen is what you see there.
I see me. Hello.
All right, Steve,
How
take
you
the
doing?
iPad. There you go.
Oh, this is nice.
All right, here
Is
we
the
go.
iPad full?
I like this technology.
All right, so this is the guy that's coming in motion right here, right? He's going to come down the line. So Miles Harden is right here. He's going to come down this line as well, because Gnu is like, hey, he's in motion. Gnu's going to play man on him. Dale Pitt is dropping in there. Ronnie Hickman is going to the post. This guy right here is going to take the motion man, because he's going to motion all the way out here. So the issue with this whole play is when your guy's in motion and you got to come all the way across, it can't be you just taking your time. You got to hurry up, get over here, and get set, because this guy is on the ball. He's set, and he's ready to go. Miles kind of got caught in la-la land, meaning he got to about right here. This guy goes up, hits this. Miles plays on the inside leverage of this play, the entire play, which is wrong, because this is his help right here in the post.
So wait a second. Tom, show us Miles Harden again.
Right here.
Okay. And the guy in motion is the guy closest to the top, right?
Right here.
Is he's supposed to stay with him or no? I'm a little confused.
So in this situation,
Yeah.
whatever the plan is, Gnu was like, hey, go with that.
So
whatever.
Okay.
However that's how they was playing it that week.
Okay.
That's how they playing
All
it.
right.
That's a total corner DB communication. This is
Yeah.
the game plan this week. So that's the way they wanted to do it, and
Okay.
that's what happened. So when that happened, he had to get up and he had to go over here. Gnu played man on this guy.
To pick up the guy who's in motion.
No, Gnu.
No, the guy who's
No,
in
no,
motion.
no. Miles Harden has got to race over to the other side of the field
to get
the guy in motion. To get
this
that guy.
Because this guy is set.
I got you. Okay. So that's who
he
Miles.
motioned all the way out here. Which
And who's
means
supposed to pick that guy up?
out here?
Yeah.
Whoever this corner is.
Okay.
I don't know
Gotcha.
who this is.
Okay, I got
Whoever
it
that
now.
is.
It just looks weird because Myles Garrett is in an Air 9.
Yeah.
This dude is lined up dang near by a wide receiver.
That's
Right.
That's the wide now.
Yeah, that's
So Miles, he's got to essentially replace Miles Garrett picking up that receiver.
He don't need to necessarily get over there. What he needs to do is he needs to get set. If he's going to play off the ball, that's fine. Just be on the outside. You don't be on the inside of it.
Right. You don't want to
See,
be able
the
to get outside
problem
on
is
you.
the
Okay.
problem is by the time this ball was snapped, which he never got to where he was supposed to be. This is him. He's on the inside of this.
Yeah.
And his help is right here. So if you're going to play up man-to-man, you want to be
Yeah.
on the outside because there's no help out there.
And
But
who's
if you-
that on the 15 for the Browns?
Right here?
Yeah.
It's a Woozier or whatever the other corner's name is.
Okay, and he's picking up the guy that's
He
right
got
there,
him,
right?
yes, correct.
So he's not helping.
Not at all. They're
Oh,
man.
so Miles Harden is in a terrible spot.
That's what I'm telling you. That's what, thank you.
I mean, he should be.
Welcome to
He should
the
be
party.
almost where that other corner is.
Exactly.
Right.
That's how
Yeah.
he should have played man. Because again, help is right there. You got this guy right here. That's help inside. You got this guy. This help is inside. You got all the help
Do
inside.
they have it where can we see him come in motion and him follow
Yeah,
him?
can we see it or we don't have the video?
That's him right there.
Listen,
and that's the
EP
guy.
Steve's here. If EP Steve says we can play the video, we can play the video.
It's too
I'm
many.
gonna put the pressure on EP Steve because he's
Yeah,
sitting in
I
studio
like
with
it.
us.
No, sir.
No.
So was
okay.
Miles Harden from
This-
your remembering the play? Obviously, we can't see him
Right.
in motion. Was he?
No, look, Bull. Here's a still shot
Yeah.
of him going in
Right.
motion.
Okay.
He's
So when you
Tyvus has
so
it
I-
circled, yes.
So as a corner, I've been in this position before.
Yeah.
When you as your DB coach say there is no smoke breaks, like you got to go
Right,
and
right.
go over there and get
Now,
set.
let me ask you this.
You might need to err on the side of being in front of this guy.
If
Because
that guy,
especially if you gonna pick that guy up right there, you need to hurry up and get set. And
Right.
let that other corner
now
just handle it.
Miles Harden is only running to that side of the field because even though he's not picking that guy up, that guy being in motion means Miles Harden's got to get to the other side of the
They're
field.
man to man.
Okay, so so the second that guy goes in motion, Miles Harden's got to take off.
Gotta go.
And even he's kind of got to be a little bit of an angle.
You need to be
because
ahead
you're
of
not going to get all the way to where the guy is.
Because
to get past
this
you.
is why you err on the fact of being ahead of him. Okay, let's say on this play it went dead. Did I cut it off?
you probably could hit the top of the thing. Is the blue light on the stylus?
No.
You turned it off again.
Okay,
I'm
here
coming
we
out to help you.
There
Hold
you
on.
go. Hold on. There you go.
He's got it.
Listen, I'm tech savvy. Anyway,
Says the guy who turned it off twice.
I
in the
didn't
last
know.
20
I
minutes.
didn't
All
know.
right,
You
all
got-
right.
Whatever.
Let him be.
Anyways,
Yeah.
So even if you err on the side of going out here and being in front of this guy,
Yeah.
and let's say he stopped right there, he came back across the field.
was gonna
All the help is still on the
it's still
inside.
inside.
Is
You
there
need
any-
to be outside leverage in any cover one,
Yeah.
anytime you got post help.
Yeah.
You play outside.
So
leverage.
there's no scenario-
The only time you play inside leverage on a guy is
Yeah.
in the red zone or if it's in cover zero.
So there'd be
That's it.
no reason at all that Miles Harden would think the help would be on the outside. No
No.
reason. None.
Unless
so
he-
there's no excuse. The second he starts running, he knows he's got to get outside leverage on that guy.
Yep. Geno-
Correct?
Geno told him.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what happened?
He didn't do it.
Like was it just he didn't have enough time? Did he not get there? Like was he not fast enough? Like
What it tells me
is he not capable?
No, what should
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you how you fix it. There's two
Yeah.
ways you could fix it. One, Miles Harden get on his horse and get
Yeah.
over there and get set up. That would help a lot. Or if this is my man, if this man is in motion, I hate this thing. If this is the guy that's in motion and I'm checking him, then I'm gonna just play him. Like I'm not coming off.
Right.
Like you just play this man to man no matter what.
But that call is it Newsom's call?
Well, he made the call. Don't you see his hand? He's telling him,
Yeah.
hey,
Yeah.
I'm gonna go right there.
So what tells me is it's easier said than done.
Yeah.
So basically, when you come out of the defense,
Yeah.
you know what the call is. But depending on what the offense gives you, your responsibility changes in the middle of the play.
Right.
What that tells me is he's not solid enough in knowing
Yeah.
exactly what his stuff is, so he's a step behind.
Right.
So now, as he's running over, he's thinking, "Oh, okay.
What am I doing?
When I get over there, who do I got?"
Right.
And if he runs this route,
He wasn't sure.
He wasn't sure.
Yeah.
So what ended up happening is it's either fight or flight. He gets there late, and when you're late to the pizza party, all the pizza is gone. It's only cheese pizza.
because quiet as it's kept, he should have just stayed with the motion man. Because if he stays with the motion man,
Yeah.
he ends up right here
over
chasing
there.
this guy's already in
Right.
perfect position
So
because,
who
of,
would it- if
because
he-
of his initial alignment. You see, he's outside. That
But
he
what-
should have just played it.
But Tyvus, if he had stayed with once Greg Newsome signals him.
That has nothing to do with that. Nothing.
Okay,
Just
but-
that's you got man. Take that man. That's what I would have did. I would have just said I'm not
So
going to
what
cause
made
confusion.
him go after that guy? Like, how did that end up happening? that way?
That right there, I don't know because he probably figured, hey, that guy's gonna end up over there. I'm gonna be closer to that guy, so I'm gonna just play it.
Doesn't somebody else have to know to pick up the guy in motion?
Well, that
What you mean? Like at the this initial motion?
So the guy who's in motion for the Ravens,
Right here.
right?
It's Wallace, if you want to call
Okay,
him
it's
by name.
Wallace. Now, who's the receiver that
Set at the bottom of the screen.
yeah, who is that? Do we know?
Stevenson, whatever his name
Okay.
No, this is Walker, ain't it? This Devontae Walker, because he the one
Yeah.
that caught the touchdown.
Yeah, you're right.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah, so Wallace at the bottom. Walker's the one that caught touchdown, yes.
Okay. So Walker's up top in
No,
motion?
this is Walker right here.
Okay. So Walker's there and Wallace is in motion.
Correct.
So when Wallace goes in motion, how does Harden know whether to stay with Wallace or to go pick up Montez on the other side?
He literally gave the communication right there.
So Greg Newsome.
G. New said go. Look, don't you see? Look, don't you see that hand right
Okay,
there?
but
hey, go.
But that means go get. It doesn't. Does go mean stay with the guy in motion, or does it mean
that I don't know?
It just means go to the other side of the field.
You got that. Take that motion.
So how does he know which guy to pick up?
Because what we got to hear,
Yeah.
he is saying, "Hey, I'm gonna take him." Don't you see the hand? You see the hand right there?
So he's
hey,
signaling
I'm
who
gonna
he's gonna
take.
take.
I got him. You take him. That's what's happening.
But who's he talking to at that
The
point?
He is talking
That
to
other
That
corner.
corner right there that's
Yeah,
looking
he
at the
talking
bottom
to
of the
that guy
screen.
right there.
You see him looking
But that
way?
corner's got to be looking too. He's got.
He got the message
Look at his
now.
head. Look at his head.
Yeah.
Clearly, he got the message.
So once he signals him, that other corner knows I got to pick up the motion man.
Yes.
Correct.
And
Just like I said, if you're gonna do
so
that,
it was
you need-
essentially Newsome made the decision to send Harden to the other side of the field, but then Harden made the decision to pick up the guy that's already there, not the guy in motion.
Correct.
So it wasn't like he didn't know who to pick up because
No,
he decided who to pick up.
it wasn't.
So there's no excuse for him not to be on that guy, and there's no excuse for him not to have outside
So what-
leverage because you just said that in that scenario you always have the outside leverage
In
because
one,
the cover
yeah. In
because
cover
the
one,
help
you
is
always-
on the inside.
Correct.
And then guess what?
So you know what this turned into?
Yeah.
They're gonna go in there and they're gonna watch this and say, "All right, dude, we gotta have a plan for motion. This is for now on.
Right.
This is how, let me hold on. Let me say this correctly. If I was coaching them, this is what because I'm not gonna err on the fact of saying like they gonna absolutely get this cleaned up. I've done that 2 years in a row.
Yeah.
I would never make that. If I was coaching them, and when I played in the league, if this was a mistake, we would come in and we would say, this is how we handle emotion for the rest of the year. Okay.
Yeah.
If the guy who's in motion goes, whoever goes with the motion, you just stay on that man.
on
Unless
that guy.
you get into a bunch and y'all can work it out real quick. But the problem is the things is moving too fast. As you can see, this ball got snapped before guys
Right.
was even set. So just play it out as man. We'll get through the down. Play worst case scenario, play deep to short. Let them throw some check down.
Yeah.
Tackle it. We got through the play.
Let me ask you this. Now, let's keep going with that premise.
Okay.
Let's go with the premise if you coaching it. If you coaching this, and could you go back to that last screen on the outside right there? So you are right there. So if you are right here, and you
Who we looking at?
we looking at Harden, right?
Okay, right here.
So as a defensive back coach, I could be tripping, but aren't you telling him, okay, you're in a bad position, no down distance, and what it is at that position on that hash? What route is scaring you the most? There it is. At that position, what is the only route that can hurt you right there? Even if you out of position, knowing the tendencies and saying, okay, as a DB, ain't you looking at, all right, he's on the hash.
Well, this is the thing. First of all, this is a young player, okay? This is a young player that kind of got forced into a role. He probably wasn't,
Yeah.
So we got to I'm going to cut him some slack on that.
Okay.
Even though you're a professional athlete and you should know everything, I'm going to cut you some slack. You got thrown into this role. You wasn't expecting Denzel to get cramps, but he did. You got thrown into this role. So as a veteran who's played the game, that's had some experience, a vet would absolutely just cut this route.
That's it.
And then because he knows that guy is there. But the problem is in this is such a OS moment right now because he snapped that ball before I got there and everything is moving fast that he thinking I'm going to just try to stay on top of this route no matter what. And what he don't realize is that is wide open.
Yeah.
Because running the route right now, he probably I could see him on my peripheral. Like I'm looking at him, but I could see him a little bit. So maybe he might still stand right there.
Is that other corner? Are you saying he should have gotten involved in that play?
This dude right here?
No.
He has
Yeah.
nothing to do with
No,
this.
it's not
Okay.
him.
He don't even pay attention to him.
Okay.
That's his man right there.
So-
he is out of the play.
Do you think when Greg Newsome said go, that he assumed that Harden would just pick up the motion man?
Probably, I probably would have thought that.
Okay.
Anytime I ever went in motion, I never, because it's too much. Like unless that guy gets set and the quarterback going through skate, you ain't got time to really be talking.
Right.
Like
It's
that.
almost like McNuggets. That's why in high school we played basketball. I don't know what they be doing now. We was never allowed switching. It was like, ain't no, right here, this looked like a switch. Like, hey, yeah, he gonna go all the way out there. You check him, and then I'm gonna check this dude that's already there. We good. We gonna switch.
It really would have been a no play if he would have been on this outside.
Oh, that was it.
Because he would have underran
would've
that.
undercut
That ran to that.
Tyvus, when
it
you,
would have been a no play. He would have threw this check down to this dude right here, and then they would have had to do.
And what down was this?
I don't even know.
I could tell you. Hold on one sec.
Tyvus, when you, as a player, when you're on, if you were in that situation, what are you taught in terms of like, because obviously,
Second and 14, okay.
obviously Harden is going to be behind the guy in motion. So even if he picks up the motion guy, he's behind because you're not going to go until that guy goes. But so Harden's got to take an angle. You're not running straight across.
No,
you're
well,
taking
first of
an angle.
all,
Like what do they
go-
teach you in terms of getting an angle?
You always
like
go-
how big an angle should you be
You
taking?
always got to go behind these linebackers
Yep.
because if
Right.
they snap that ball and they run it, you're going to block the linebacker.
But are you like trying to run almost like in a diagonal way more than like up and then over?
No, I'm telling you,
Yeah.
bull. The way to solve all this is this man goes in motion. If I'm going
Yeah.
in motion, this is my man. I'm not that's
You're
locked.
staying with the
That's
motion
locked.
guy.
That's locked.
That's
Like
it.
Or you could just say, "Hey, that's your man in motion. Go with him."
That's what I would
another
think. Like
thing
if
you
you're
could do.
playing man,
that's your man.
and your
go
guy
with
goes
it.
in motion, stay with your guy. He's
I
your
could do
man.
that too. But the problem with that is, the problem with that
If they
is,
take that boy and run him
if
back.
if he go over there and he press like this become right now.
Yep.
I'm telling you,
Fade.
because this is essentially a slot fade. That's a lot of room out there, and he in a press man technique too. Who's beat him off that line?
Is that Mark Andrews?
They throwing that. I don't know that ain't no tight end. That's a receiver.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know who that is. But I don't know
I
what.
think that's Zay Flowers.
Oh, yeah.
That's touchdown.
That's exactly
yeah.
why he called him off.
That's-
That's exactly why he told him to go.
Because he has outside leverage. If you look,
Yeah, if he gonna play outside, and if he run that bang gate, this linebacker should be right here. That post safety should be right there. He gonna stay on the
you
outside.
said something, Tyvus, that I think that people should get.
But if this Zay Flowers, G knew it not.
But wait,
this
is Harden-
we ain't doing that.
Is Harden if he had not gone if Wallace had not gone in motion, would Harden have been defending Zay Flowers on that play?
Yes.
yeah.
So they're comfortable with that if he's there, but
Because he has help on the outside.
Because it's a leverage thing.
but that's Greg Newsome on the outside.
I know they got.
But
that.
Greg Newsome's not helping Harden.
To be fair,
Yeah.
I don't know. We don't know exactly what the plan is. Okay,
Okay.
so when you get these stacks like this, it don't necessarily just show off as you got him, you got
Right,
him.
I got
It
you.
could be.
They could switch
They
it up,
could
right?
easily go. I'm gonna take the dude behind here. You gonna take that guy.
Right.
Which is typically what happens when you
You try
go
to
up against-
confuse, keep the offense
because
guessing a little bit.
because if you do this, because what's gonna happen is this is essentially just a pick.
Right.
Two
They
things,
can just run a pick. If
two
you
things-
got him and you got him and they throw this slant, it's over with.
Two
Right,
things
yes.
that really stands out. He said no smoke breaks. Have you ever seen in a game where they might be running a no huddle and the defensive lineman is muddling around and they about to snap the ball and then they get their hand in the dirt a 0.5 seconds before?
Yeah. You can't do that.
Coaches
actually.
go
You better not
crazy.
do that.
They said, listen, get down and get set. You can't be milling around because you're going to be a half a beat off. Now you ain't going to get no rush with that. So when that guy go in motion, he got to be on his horse.
Right,
He
right,
got to be, because at least if you get set, that's half the battle. Second of all, now everybody can understand this. And McNugget said it. This is the reason why motion is important. Do you see how much chaos it creates by one guy just running that
Yeah.
way?
It
And
really
if
is.
you are the Cleveland Browns, I've always said this. Tell me if I'm wrong in the chat. You ain't got to be a great offensive coordinator. All you got to do is tell your stat dudes and one of your programmers, hey, give me 5 of the best plays from every football game this week. How many teams is it? 32? So 32 times 5 is what? You got to take.
Gee, they do that. That's why they call it a copycat league.
Well, guess what? They ain't copying hard enough.
What
They
you
cut
need-
copy and paste don't work.
No, what
Take
you
them
got
plays-
to realize is what you have to do is you have to look at who is the team or what this offensive coordinator when he plays this certain defensive scheme. What are the explosive plays? What has been successful against that scheme? If I'm an OC, that's all I'm doing. Let me go back and see. I don't know who plays man. Let's say Philadelphia plays man-to-man and plays the same scheme. I'm going to go watch the Philly game and see what worked in that game. Because what worked in that game, I'm going to try it to see if they fixed it. They're going to have a meeting about, we got to fix this, blah, blah, blah. Did they fix it? That's what happens. So that's how a game plan is kind of put together.
No,
it's like I'm going to go around and see what worked against this defense, and then I'm going to use it.
Listen, I think they're more rudimentary. I think they ain't got the concepts. I'm going to steal the concepts. I want that exact play and give me 5 more of them, and then what we're going to do, we're going to mix them in. And I might throw a wrinkle in or whatever the case may be. But if you can't be creative to do that, then you're going to have to figure a way to figure out something because our guys ain't doing that. We ain't moved. We ain't schemed nobody open like that.
Certainly not this past week. All right, we'll leave it there. We'll talk with Mary Kay Cabot at noon, and we've got Sean King coming on today as well to talk more Browns. For now, let's get to the Guardians. Go ahead, Mike.
Yeah, Ty, that was really insightful. Thank you for the knowledge on that.